I'm Patrick Bailey with whiteboardcoder.com. Today is November 11th, 2018. And in this video, I'm going to be putting together a mini computer I bought here recently called it's from pcengine. It's a apu2c4 model from them in order to install pfsense on it so that I have a really nice custom router to control my network. Okay, here's my situation. I'm switching over from DSL, which I happen to get from CenturyLink, over to a cable modem. Now, no problem with DSL. It's working just fine. Been very satisfied with it. But due to some circumstances, I'm going to get more bandwidth out and a little bit cheaper price using cable. So I'm going to be doing the switch over. Now, as part of switching over, I thought, well, I just recently rerouted all my house with Ethernet cable. So I thought, well, let me fix my entire system. So as part of that, I thought, well, let me go get a router. And nowadays, there's enough open source systems out there. Let me go flash it, install a new open source router controller software on it, and then go from there. Well, I'm talking to some people, especially a good friend of mine named Isaac. He said, no. He's a bit of a paranoid freak in a good way, where he doesn't like, I'm a little paranoid. He's another level above me, where he doesn't want people. How safe can we be? Can we watch these people? What's going on? And apparently there's enough going on in the router world where it's like, well, even if you put your own software on, there still may be some potential backdoors for them to reflash or this. He said, don't bother with that. What you need to get is a program out there called pfsense. Now, pfsense will run a few things, and basically it runs on a computer. So a cheap option is to go get a big old computer, install pfsense. It is the OS. You're going to have to make sure that you have at least a couple of Ethernet cables Ethernet jacks on the back. So you basically have something coming in, something going out, so you can control your network. And that's a good, cheap way to go. But for me, I'm a bit of a power weenie. I hate to build a computer, even a cheap computer, that's going to sit there and suck 40, 60, 70 watts just doing this one simple job. So he suggested that I go out, and he's been researching this. He suggested go out and just go buy a dedicated box, low powered, and the one he showed me was one made by pcengine, and they have a couple of them, and this one happens to be called, the one I bought is apu2c4, and there it is. And so it's got 3 gigabit Ethernet connectors on the back, and so that's what I'm going with, and pretty excited because here I'm going to have a dedicated system, but it's going to be low powered. I haven't tested it, but I think it should be in the single digits while it's running. 6 to 8 watts is my goal. And for an extra appliance, that's good by me. So next, let me go over all the pieces I actually ordered to get this going. Okay, so here's the stuff I've ordered. So first here is the apu2c4, which I actually ordered from, where are you here? Oh, there you are. You can order it directly from pcengine, and I'll put links to the show in the show notes here somewhere. But I actually have some sub-suppliers, so I actually ordered it from a place called Minibox. And that went for about $170. Not too bad for a little mini computer, but maybe not as cheap as getting a whole, just get an old get an old PC that no one wants for $20, $50. That could do the same job. I'm just a bit of a power weenie, and that's on me. So I got that. I also went and got a little red enclosure here, which I'll show a little later. The enclosure I got isn't quite compatible with this. Everything lines up except for this part right here. And I had to go basically tweak the metal back to get it hooked in there, but not the end of the world. I just wish it didn't have to do that. And that is, $15? And then also you need a power adapter. It doesn't come with a power adapter. And this I bought from Minibox too for, what I've been spending, $11? Well, I wrote down 12. Then also to do this, you have a couple of options. You can put a USB card in here and have that work just fine. But I thought, well, it's got an mSATA port. Let me go get an mSATA drive. So they did sell some there, but I decided based on the price at the time, I went and got a Kingston 240 gig drive. And at the time I bought it, it was about $70. But looking at it today, it's a little bit more. You don't need 240 gigs. 30 gigs is more than enough. It's mSATA. It's should be fine. I probably spent too much, but I was trying to I couldn't find a relatively cheap one that was a 30 gig drive that I liked, so I spent a little bit more. Also, another piece that's important, there are some ways around this, but I went the safe route. In order to talk to this via the serial adapter, because we need to go in there via PuTTY to talk to it. You'll see this later on. So via the console, there is a USB to DB9 serial adapter that I bought directly from pcengine to make sure I had the right one that I knew would work. There are some that look like they're correct, and so I bought cables before. You're like, oh, here's an adapter USB to whatever, and it's not quite right. So I just went right to the source, got this. It worked just fine. Others may work, and if you have one that you know that works, hey, list it in this video somewhere so you can help someone else out. But this one, another one I bought, and that worked. That's about $10. So altogether, about $277 if I added that correctly. So a little under $300 for this dedicated system. A little bit much, but then I'm going to keep this around for 10 years. It should be fine. So I'm overall pretty happy with that price. Cheaper ways to go. You could just get an old used PC. You're going to suck up more wattage. Not the end of the world, but me, I want to go low powered. So there are the pieces I bought. So now let me go over putting it all together. Okay, so let me go physically put this together. But before I do, there's a couple of sites I want to show you. One is the pcengine's own site on how to put it all together. And so I'll put this in the show notes, but here's the link. Pretty easy, apu2c4.htm. The only thing that I noticed while I was putting this together is this is showing 2 CPUs here that need a heatsink, little sticker on it. In this case, the APU only actually has 1. And I'll show you that. So it's a little bit lopsided, but it works. So be sure to read through this. Also at whiteboardcoder.com, my website, and I'll put a link to this in the show notes. I did this just recently when I was out of town, so I didn't have all my equipment with me. But I did go through, took a lot of pictures, and so there may be some details in here that I might have missed or overlooked because I'm redoing what I did before. So I'll do the best I can, but there may be some information here too if I happen to miss something. But anyway, with that, let me get to actually taking this thing apart. Well, taking it apart, putting it together. What did I say? Taking it apart, putting it together. Okay, so I've repackaged things a little bit here. But one thing that threw me for a little loop when I unpackaged this is the heatsink was actually taped onto the outside like this. And it took me, I was being dumb, it took me a minute to realize that. So just remember your heatsink, the way I received it was packaged on the outside. So I've already taken this off. I've put it together. So here's the little sticky part back here, so I'm not gonna let me unbox that. Oh, and there we go. So it's the apu2c4 from pcengine. So if we take this out, there we go. So I got my three different 1 gigabit plugins here, which is nice. I got 6 mSATAs. Now wait, 1, 2, 3. You can kind of go crazy with mSATAs, so you can actually put a Wi-Fi in here if you want. In my case, I'm not going to do that. I'll do my Wi-Fi some other place. Also, here's your SD card. I think, or wait, is it there or there? Well, oh, nope, here we go. There we go. But I'm not going to use that either, so I'm doing the mSATA thing. So first, if I flip it over, I need to put this on. So I've got a little bit of a mess. You've got these little stickies here that you'll actually take that off, put it on the CPU here, and then put the heatsink on. And so it's not really going to stick all that wonderfully, but it's good enough that once it gets in the case, that you're good. So let me put this. I'm going to have to redo that here in a second. Yeah, let me redo it in a second, because we don't need that overheating. But here's my mSATA drive that I ordered from Kingston, 240 gigs. Like I said, probably way overkill. I think 30 gigs is probably going to be enough. But don't take my word for it. This is my first time really fiddling with pfSense. So you may have a reason for having that extra space. So I'll just stick it in here at an angle. And then you push it down. It should snap in just like that. Let me put this back over here and get this guy on here, because you need to dissipate that heat, otherwise there's a good chance you can fry your CPU. Now one thing, here's the case that I bought. This all lines up just fine with this, but not this guy. This guy didn't fit quite right, so what I had to do at the time is I got some kind of pliers and I just bent it out. Now I probably need to go back in here and probably work these off and make it a little bit cleaner. So it's a little ugly, but it gets the job done. Everything else lined up just fine. It's just this model might have changed slightly, and I couldn't really get those bolts out. Well, you know, I guess what I could, well, I guess you could have done that. You could have removed these bolts, I guess. They come off. As I thought, you probably could just take these off, that one, and that one, and you'd probably be good. Let me see. I should be able to, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's probably what I should have done. Since I'm not going to be using that, really. Okay, that might have been another solution, just take those out. But I didn't do that, so that's where I'm at. Should have thought of that before. Okay, so I got that. I'm going to hold this upside down like this because I want that to stay where it should. And then I've got this, which is the bottom. Like that. We got our ports lining up. There we go. And I will just get you on. Get you sticking out here. There we go. Flip you over. And then I have to line up all the 4 bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts on here. I'm a little angled here. Oh, even now. I have to go retweak that, don't I? Yep, even now it's hitting that metal part again. I guess I didn't tweak it. I tweaked it back a little bit. So maybe let me follow my own advice, huh? I don't really need these. Let me take them out. There we go. So now, get you back on like you should be. There we go. Okay, yeah, that could have saved me from some damage there. That would have worked. Still, I shouldn't have had to do that. Okay, now flip it over, and there we go. We got them all lined up. And it's been a while since I had taken this apart, but it should have come with some screws in there for all those and for the outer casing. So let me use these. To screw this on. Boom, there we go. Life is good. Put this guy over it. And this guy has 4 screws. You don't need a case, but I like having a case just in case, you know, it's a little more protective. Plus, it looks kind of cool. And it was only 15 bucks anyway. There we go. So, when I get this going, I should be able to see some lights in here when I plug it in and get going. Right there. And got my power. I got my 3 gigabit switch, 3 gigabit ports, which I think I only need 2 in what I'm doing, but having a third one's nice because you can specify what you want to do. Also, there was some little rubber knobs. I think I took these out and stuck them on. I don't think they were there by default. And you probably want those a little bit less vibration and a little bit further away from this part will get a little bit hot, so it's nice to have a little bit of airflow through there. So there we go. So now on to the next step. Actually plugging this in, testing it to make sure it powers on, and then I got to do some stuff to actually get the pfSense installed on it. Okay, next thing I need to do is I need to go make a bootable USB drive so that I can install the software I need on this. But before I do that, I do have my box together here, and so I'm going to plug it in and make sure that I get some lights to light up. So I got lights lighting up, and I did this earlier, so I usually let it sit for a few minutes, and it'll get warm, and just make sure that the heat dissipating to the bottom, and I think I'm okay. But with that, let me get to actually downloading pfSense and making a bootable USB drive, which I need. So here I can go over to pfsense.org/download, where I can get the download. So I got version 2.44. I'm going to select the AMD 64-bit. And for the installer, I'm going to select, serial. Let's see, USB memory stick installer, right? Yeah, USB memory stick installer, and then select serial. And then I'm going to download this version. So download that. We'll let it download here. Oh, come on, 15 minutes. Oh, there we go, speeding up. And then I am going to be using Cygwin to do some of this setup. Cygwin is a tool you can download and install. I use it a lot. It's basically a way to fake doing Linux on a Windows box. And it's just a very useful tool. So I got 48 seconds left. So we'll copy. Let's see, download. Let's see, where are my downloads? Boom, 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 boom. Copy downloads. No, still not downloading. Oh, let me see. Oh, hey, I got some noises beeping. Okay, I guess we beeped. Well, I have installed pfSense on this before, so maybe that's a good beep, but I'm going to reinstall anyway for this video. Okay, so CD desktop. So let's see. I'll just make a directory. Make directory pfSense. Go in there, and I will move this file that I just got. pfSense there. So now I've got this image gzip guy. So I need to get this prepared to make the USBs. And I got a little USB stick. Nothing's on it, so it's okay to wipe out. Okay, so there we go. So the first thing I want to do, and this is a little bit of an anal thing, is if you notice here on the site, they have a SHA checksum. And so that's a good thing to do to check to make sure you got what you downloaded is actually what is intended, and you don't have some kind of man-in-the-middle thing or something kind of got screwed up, or you don't have the right file. So I'll do SHA-2c5sum, pfSense, and run that. And the resulting guy is this number. If I copy that, boom, perfect. So exactly match, so I should have the file that I have. Okay, so now we do a cat, etc. partitions. Oh, what do I got? Oh, cat proc. Here, my notes here. Cat proc partitions. And here I can see, I know in my particular box, in my case, this is where you gotta be careful because some of the commands I'm gonna give here will wipe out your drive completely, no looking back. So you gotta make sure you have the right drive. So here, my G drive is the one I intend to overwrite. If I look over here, there's my G drive, and you can see there I am, SDD1. That's the one I want to overwrite. That's the one I want to make into a bootable drive. So what I'll do is I'll do gzip -dc pfSense this image.gz And I will do that, pipe it out to DD. And to make life easier, I'll do this. So you don't need this. This is just to help me go onto another line to make it readable. So I'll pipe it out to DD. Also, on the whiteboard coder, you might go there and you can just copy and paste. Although on the whiteboard coder, I did actually intentionally mess up the command, forcing you to fix it so you're not accidentally overwriting your C drive or something. Anyway, so do OF, which means output file. I'll say dev SDD. Let's see, SDD. Yeah, SDD, because it's the DD drive. That's the G. And I'll say BS equals 1 meg. Oh, I did this before, and this actually should fail. Yep, permission denied. Because I don't have, as Sigwin in here, I don't have root access. So if you're using Sigwin, you come up here, right-click on Sigwin, and say Run as Administrator. And this is your Windows administrator. I will say yes. Go to CD desktop, pfsense, and that's the folder I made. And then I'll go rerun this command again. So now I'll do the command again. Let's see, gzip-dc, the file we downloaded, pipe that out. Again, you don't need to do this slash, I just did it so I can make it more readable for this video. So dd output file equals dev SDD in my case, BS equals 1 meg. Now be careful before you execute this command because you will overwrite the drive. So as a double check here, I'll go look at my cat proc partitions and I can see that my G drive is SDD1, so it's SDD, good to go. I'm not wiping out my C drive. So here we go. So we'll do this with admin privileges, shouldn't take very long. Now there might be some other ways to do this. I'm sure there are to make a bootable drive, but the Sigwin tools just give you, using Linux tools make it a lot simpler and easier. One command line you can copy and get on with your life. There we go. So now, don't go there. So now that that's done, if I go over here, and here's my G drive. If I open up my G drive now, I can kind of see all this gobbledygook. So that's kind of what you want. I'm not going to go into details beyond that, but now you should have your bootable drive. So now next, we need to plug this in and then connect it all up and start doing the install process. Okay, here's where we start to get into a little bit of fun. So I may have to go back and forth to get this done correctly. So first, I'm just going to unplug this guy, power off. I got my USB bootable drive now based on what we just did. And so I'm just going to, nothing special, doesn't matter where it goes. I'm just plugging that guy in. So there's our first part. Next part, here's the cable that I got from the pcengine guys just to make sure I had the right cable. And so I'm going to take the serial end and plug it in. And then I'll plug the USB end to my computer. Little beep, there we go. Now the next thing you need is PuTTY. So here I'm at putty.org, and you can go download PuTTY and install it. It's a tool you're going to need if you don't already have it to talk to this box via serial port through the USB, which can be a lot of fun. So now that I've gotten that going, let me go down here. I actually have PuTTY. There you go, PuTTY. So I'll start PuTTY up, and this is where it can be a little entertaining and fun. Because the first thing we need to see is where are we talking on? So let's see. Let me get my brain gear on this one. There we go. Okay, so let me go open up Device Manager. So down here you can type Device Manager, open this guy up, because we need to find out what port we're talking on here, which can be a little confusing sometimes. So I come down here and go, let's see, ports, common, there you go, ports, common LPT. So there should be Was that my guy? That might be COM5. Okay. This is where I get a little hazy until I get it done. So I'm going to plug in the power now to this guy, so it's going to start to boot up. Let's see if there are any changes here. Let's see. Yeah, that's my guy. Other devices, let me see. I had an issue before where I had to go back and fix this. If you don't see this, it could be a different COM1, COM2, whatever. I had an issue with this where it wasn't showing up correctly. When I plugged in the USB, you could see it. If you have some weird issues, you might go to my website with the blog post that I listed in here, and it might have some more details that might help you. Or if you get lost, you can post a message. Maybe someone can help you. Maybe I can help you. It gets a little hairy. But here we are, COM5. I need to know that so I can know how to talk to it. So here I go over here to PuTTY. And so we know we're connected. We're connected on COM5. And I come down here and say, okay, session. Okay, so come down here and we choose serial. So serial port, COM5, change it to COM5. And right now the speed is 9600. And if we try, and I can say open, but we're probably going to get an error. So if I sit here and open, oh, hey, we're talking. But we're probably not going to see much. Yep, see a bunch of gobbledygook. So good, you're kind of connected, but they're not talking at the right speed to each other, so I got to do a few fixes. So I come here, kill that, say end the session. I'll reopen PuTTY. Go to serial, COM5. There we go, 9600. Let's see. Oh, in fact, I think this will work. Let me show you a better error. I'm going to unplug it. If my notes are correct. So unplug it, leave it COM5, 9600. COM5 in my case. Yours might be a different COM. It might be COM2, COM1. So make sure it lines up with what's in Device Manager. I'll hit open, and then I'll plug in the power onto this box. And you can see it's booting up. It's doing something, and I'm getting information back, but it's out of sequence, and so you just kind of see a bunch of gobbledygook. That's a good indication that something's happening, but we still need to fix it. So yeah, there you go. Something's happening, but we're talking English, they're talking French, and we get this garbage. We're not literally talking English and French, but they're talking different languages. So what did I do? What did I say? Okay, so let me kill this. Hit OK. And I'll unplug the power again. So now, looking at my notes, it's been a while since I did this. I can go over here to the Device Manager, right-click on this guy, and hit Properties. And then from here, I can go to Port Settings and look at the speed. So right now it says 9600, and you would think that would work, but it doesn't. So I need to go fix this and update that to 115200. And parity non-data, let's see, non-advanced. Okay, so we set that to that, hit OK. I go back over to PuTTY, hit serial, again, COM5 because it's COM5 over there. And then speed 115200. And I'll hit open. Then I'll plug it in. So now it should start up. And stuff we can read. So from here, I'll press F10. Okay, apparently when I pressed F10, it also killed my video feed on Camtasia. So I'm going to unplug this again while we're still connected. Plug it back in. See if it'll wipe it out. There we go. So it's wiping it out. Press F10. Yeah. Yeah, because I installed it before. It's going to boot up in pfSense because I installed pfSense before. So let me see if I can pause it here. Let me wonder if I can change Camtasia and not quit on F10. Okay, so I can't really capture this right now, but when this starts up, you have to press the F10 key. Now the F10 key brings you to this menu, but also in my case it kills Camtasia, so I can't really record it without me going and updating my Camtasia. I'm not going to bother with that right now. So now you get this, and you can see your different boot devices. So here is my Kingston disk, so hooray, it sees it just fine. And here's my USB drive. So I'm going to want to press 1 to choose that. And so it starts to load all that. Dun, 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 dun. And we'll let it auto boot the pfsense here. And then it should run us through an install process. There we go. So now I get here, I can hit enter, accept the license, and here install pfsense, hit OK. And then what do I have? I have install pfsense. Yeah, just hit enter here. Select. And then what did I do here last time? Guided disk setup. We'll do a guided disk setup. And let's see, entire disk. Yep. This will erase the disk. Now you may not have this. When I first did this, I didn't get this screen because my disk was empty to begin with, but now it's not. Say yes, and DOS partition. And then here we go, let's see. And there we go, there's my 224 gigs, that's what we want. And so I will hit, that's the one I want. And commit. And there we go. It is updating it. Doing some checksums. Let's see. What did I had this happen last time. I had a checksum failure. Let me go back and redo this. Well, I guess I'll keep the video like this. I hate to have taken someone this far and have this big screw up, but this is a big screw up that's interesting enough to go, oh man, this is a screw up. But maybe I'll go back in the video and put a note saying, here is this screw up. It has to do with how I made the drive. So I need to go back and make the boot drive a slightly different way. And it's just kind of one of those weird things that's just kind of weird. Okay, so here I am back to setting up my bootable drive again because I did make one mistake. And I'll hopefully link forward in the video to jump here so you can not waste too much time. Just being anal again here, did a cat proc partition so I can see that, yeah, my G drive here is still STD, even though now it's been split into two parts. So STD is what I need to overwrite. And so now the command is almost what I did before, but slightly different. So I'll do a gzip-dc pfsense, pipe that out. Again, I'll do my slash so you don't have to do, but I did that so I can go on a new line. And I'll pipe that out to dd, output file equals, let's see, dev std, which is the G drive. Now what I have to do is change what I had before to obs equals 64k. Before I did bs equals 1 meg. And I'm not sure the details of why this is a problem or not, but this will fix the issue. At least it did for me. So now I'll recreate this guy. And once this is done, then I'll kind of fast forward and go back to where I was in the build process again with everything stuck in and go from there. Okay, there we go. So let me get back to installing this. Okay, so now I've got my USB stick fixed. I should be good for booting up. I am on, let me double check my device manager here and go, yep, still COM5, 115200, serial, open it up, and then, where'd you go? There we are. Now, plug it in to boot it up. And again, I'll probably lose this again because I'll have to press F10, right? Okay, so there we are. It's booting up. There we go. Hit enter, accept, install pfsense, select, guided disk setup, okay, entire disk, yes, DOS partition, okay, and hit enter, commit, and there we go. We're updating the hard drive that was installed on this. And then now I think we'll be good. So now for verifying the checksum, I think we're going to be okay. All right, now finished. Would you like to open the show? Yeah, hit. Oh, not selected. There we go. Hit yes. What do I want to show? I'll just hit no for now because I don't really want to open that. I'll say reboot and let it reboot. Okay, I think I'm good. Let me see. TF-H. Oh. Well, I'm not going to be using the command line. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to unplug the box and unplug the USB drive, and I think I should be good to go. I want to control this from the web interface, even though you can do command line stuff. So now I'll kill Putty here, and let me go get my modem and see if I can plug this in and get it going. Okay, so I have this modem that I bought from Amazon. Apparently it works from a lot of cable companies. I happen to have Comcast, just if that helps anybody out there. And so this is merely a cable box. It's not a router. You need something in between. And so my idea is I'm going to have this as the cable modem, this as my router, smart router, and then I also have a big switch downstairs, a dummy switch that can well, it's a little smart. It's not as a little smart, but not this dummy switch. So that's my plan. So with that, what I'm going to do right now is I have the modem plugged in right now, and I have it plugged in directly to one of my machines. So I'm just going to unplug it, and the modem is down here on the ground. And then I've got this guy unplugged, and what I've done, at least by default, we've got 3 gigabit port back here. So we need to plug it in the middle one by default is the way it's set up, but you can change it, I guess. I'm still new to pfsense. So what I'm going to do is have that, and I'm going to plug this into my computer, and my computer is not on Wi-Fi, and now it has nothing. This is the only thing it's connected to, is this guy. And then I have my serial port connected because I want to see it boot up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Putty so I can watch it the first time, because it will take a little bit to boot up. So in my case, I'm serial, I'm still COM5, 115200, hit open, and then now, let me plug in the power and get it started. And so just to show again, that's what I got going on in the back. Okay, and you shouldn't have to press anything. And I did boot this up a few minutes ago. When it finally got to the end and pfsense was ready, the box actually made a beep sound. So hopefully that's by design, and we'll hear a beep again here. But it takes a little while. I want to say a couple minutes to boot up completely. So we'll just let it go, and I'll record the screen here, and we'll fast forward it, but you can kind of see what's going on the screen. if it's of any interest to anybody. Oh, there's my beeping noise. And so at this point, let it be. I shouldn't have to do anything. But let me go over here, and I'm going to open up the portal, the web interface. So 192.168.1.1 should be the default. And if I open that, I believe the default is default username is admin, and default password is pfsense. And we'll sign in. Welcome to pfsense. So there we go. So now I'm in. So now the next two things that I want to get done and figured out is just to make everyone's life easier who's watching this. One, how do you change the password? Because the first thing you're going to want to do. And then the second thing is actually how do I just plug this into my cable modem and actually get internet working? So let me get those two things figured out and I'll video those here real quick. Okay, I think I've got it figured out. I had to do a few things and I got it working. So let me see if I can repeat the process. So I've reinstalled everything again just to start from fresh. And so let me open up PuTTY here. And let me open my device manager again. And I can see if I go to COM, I'm still COM5, so good. That typically shouldn't change, but just want to double check. So I'll do COM5, 115.200, and open. So here we go. Everything connected up. Got this connected in here for my serial port, but I haven't plugged it in yet. So let me start it up. Plug her in, let her go. And then we're getting data. Good. There we go. But now I don't press F10 because I just want it to go through its normal boot procedure. And also I don't have the USB drive connected, so there's no way I'm running off that in any way, shape, or form. It's running off the hard drive that's on there, so good. Let's let it go. So there's pfsense. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but when it gets completely loaded, you should hear a couple beeps. Getting closer. There's some beeps. So we should be good. So we're up and running. I got nothing connected. And now the computer I'm on right now is not connected to the internet through Wi-Fi or through anything. I got an Ethernet cable plugged into it, and I'm going to plug it into this guy. Now, default, I've got 3 ports back here. And so I found out through trial and error that default, even though you can change this after the fact, that should be my LAN, so that should be good. Plug that in, and the next thing I need to do is open up a web page and go to 192.168.1.1. And let me show that. So there we go. We got that in. In fact, let me make this a little smaller. Because I think as you log in, you should see some things on the PuTTY screen go by. So let me just do that. And the default to get in is admin, and the password is pfsense. Admin, pfsense. Sign in. And there we go. I can see there's a message. Successful login. Now, typically, you're not going to need to see this. It's just nice to have it over there. So, like I said, I was talking about changing the password and get everything up and running. So if you want to change the password, you can go up here and go to, where did I go? Update Manager. You can go update. There's a path you can go down, but it also, the main wizard leads you there too. So here I'm in the wizard, but if you get lost, which I did, you can go up here to System and go to Setup Wizard, which gets you right back here. So I'm going to go run through the wizard first. So I hit Next. Step 1 of 9, just some support information. Next. Host name, what you want to rename your server, which I'll probably change it after the fact, but for now, leave it pfsense. Local domain. Primary DNS, this is who's doing your DNS lookup. I typically use 8.8.8, and I have an internal server, which I'm not going to use right now, so I'll just do 8.8.4.4. So I'll keep those going and hit Next. Oh. Invalid. What did I do? Well, there you go. I did something invalid. Let's go to the Setup Wizard again. Okay, Setup Wizard next. Oh, I had a dot at the end. 8.8.8.8.8.8.8. No, 8.4.4. And those are both run by Google, I believe. But there's other ones out there, so you can choose what you want. Set your time zone. So I'll go find Denver here. Boom, Denver. Hit next. And then pretty much you don't need to do many settings here. Starting off default, I don't have to do anything. I'll leave it all as is. Hit next. Don't need to change that right now. Hit next. And here's where you can change your password. So I will literally change it to the word password just for this video. I'll go back and change it to something else later. Hit next. And then hit reload. So there we go. Hit finish. And accept this license. And there we go. So right now, as you can see, I got the LAN plugged in the middle. That's it. And so here on the interface, as you can see, hey, it's detected, and there it is. And obviously I can see it because I'm on this computer talking to it. But the WAN was not detected. So if I go, I need to plug that in. And if I go, let's see, I can go. I did a couple of things. One, I plugged it in, and I was having issues. Things were not working right. So someone suggested that it should be good out of the box. So what they said is, hey, plug it all in, unplug your cable wrap modem for 5 minutes, and then plug it back in, and you should be good to go. And I was. I tried a bunch of things, nothing worked, but unplugging, replugging did. So here, I can't really show you. It's on the floor, not enough cable to show you right now. But this is a cable to my cable modem on the floor, which is not plugged in. So I'm going to plug it into the first guy here, which happens to be the default setting for the WAN, which I can change later if I want to. But that's the default, is that one. And then I will plug in the power down here. And let it go for a minute here, and hopefully it should all connect up. Now, one thing I can do in the meantime that they suggested was to go ping a server from here. And so I'm going to go ping 8.8.4.4, which right now I should be getting unreachable because I get 100% lost. Host unreachable because everything is booting up. Things are starting to go green on the box now. Should have got a longer cord so I could show it, but you can kind of keep repeating this. Unreachable. Getting some more blinky lights. Oh, I think we're getting there. It's thinking. Oh, I think we might be there. Press timeout. Let me reload this page. Click advance and proceed because it's got an SSL certificate there. Proceed. Okay, what are you doing? Oh, there we go. I'm receiving information, so it's talking just fine. Come on. There we go. And so now I can see, there it is, the WAN. There's my current IP address, which I'll probably block out here. But there it is, connected. So I can click on here and get more information, but I am connected. And so now, if I go, do a speed test. Let's run a speed test and see if I'm connected. I'm getting internet, so cool. A lot more setup to do, a lot more little configuration. Maybe I'll make some more videos on that. But hey, there we go, pcengine hooked up, have pfsense installed, got it all configured, talking to it, and bare bones basic, I'm on the internet. Hooray. So I'll do some next setups and some more videos. I might do some more videos. I'm not sure yet. Like one thing I would like to do is do these VLANs, and I might go talk to a buddy of mine because I do have another gigabit. And I was thinking about I could route this. I need to connect this up to my switch and have everything connected, and so I can do VLANs that way. But I might also do one here and just have this the Wi-Fi. I don't know if that's a benefit or not. It definitely gets more bandwidth that I don't need necessarily, but I need to figure out how to split things out because I would like to do things a little bit better and more structured. So like I could have a Wi-Fi locally that people can connect to that can't easily get access to my other boxes or things like that, separation of concerns. But anyway, there might be more videos, but there you go. So it's working. Cool. I'm happy. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a like. To subscribe, just click the subscribe button. Also, you can follow me on Twitter under the handle @whiteboardcoder.com. View any code I may have thrown up as a gist at GitHub under the username PatmanDenver, or check out my blog site at whiteboardcoder.com.